everybody, and welcome back to another episode of The Points of Articulation. My name's Dave, and you asked for it, so here it is, the Hot Wheels Star Wars Republic Attack Cruiser. Now, the Attack Cruiser, also known as the Republic Star Destroyer or the Venator class, was first seen in Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, and also made appearances in the CGI show, Star Wars The Clone Wars, and the animated short series, also entitled The Clone Wars. Now, these ships in the films were considered to be 1,137 meters long, which is pretty big, but not as big as our beloved Imperial Star Destroyers. And unlike Imperial Star Destroyers, which were the perfect ship killer, these were more along the lines of a souped-up carrier. Now, hear me out on this. Yes, it had turbo lasers, ion cannons, and 8 heavy turbo lasers on the sides. However, this was not made strictly to be a space battleship. Instead, the whole front section opens up, and it's full of everything you need for an invasion force. We're talking V-Winds, ARC-170s, Y-Winds, Republic gunships, tons of troops, walkers, Jedi vessels, and shuttles, and that's just the tip of the iceberg of what this bad boy carries. Now, don't get me wrong, it's a very powerful ship. As we saw, one of these almost took out General Grievous's ship. But it is more geared towards troop and fighter deployment, which is pretty awesome in my opinion. So it may be over 1,000 meters long in the films, but for this particular model, it's only measuring in at 3 3/4 inches long, which for Hot Wheels is pretty awesome. So we do have a lot to cover today. We're going to look at the mold, the paint, put on a stain, compare it, and then we'll be done. So let's get moving. Alright, looking at the mold of the Republic Attack Cruiser, like always, I'll go over the main points, and then we'll get nice and zoomed in to show off that detail. So first of all, looking at the top, we have our 8 heavy turbo lasers. We have our bridge on this side and flight control on this side. Our superstructure right here is the hangar doors, and see that slit in the middle. This side would go here and that side this way, and all the fighters and gunships would fly out. Pretty sharp. Then we have our center piece right here, and throughout here there should be turbo lasers and ion cannons. Right here is basically, from what my information told me, is a docking port. So if this went to a space station or a larger vessel, it would connect to there. Now, if you played the original Battlefront 2, this was a hangar that ships could fly out of. So that's pretty neat. And that's basically the same for this side. For the underneath of the vessel, we got our rivets, stand connector port, copyright crap. And this is actually a bottom hangar, and I think that's a good idea they put the port there, because as you can see, you have that square already. Nice touch. And then basically some great designs on here. The whole ship's beautiful. And then our engines in the back. Nicely done. All in all, fantastic ship. So now let's get up close and personal with this bad boy. Okay, getting nice and zoomed in, we can see an amazing amount of detail going around the sides. Lines, panels, little recesses. We got our open circle fleet emblem. And check out the hangar doors. Fantastic stuff here. Little modules and lines. Beautiful. I like these little strips going down. I think that's a nice touch. Coming on to this half of the ship, we have our heavy turbo lasers. And again, more beautiful detail. Same on this side. And the guns are actually recessed a little bit. So that's pretty awesome. Now looking at the superstructure leading up to the bridge and flight control section. We can see some nice little steps here. Different levels. Just the amount of detail is amazing on here. And there should be windows here. They're kind of flat. You can see it goes right through. Pretty awesome. I love the design. Pretty sick. Now coming down to the engines, we can see some great details on the sides. Recessed a little bit on here. And then the engines are very cool. We can see some great details. Pretty amazing. Even this section is pretty nicely done with all these paneling. That's great. I think that's very nice detail on these engines. Beautiful. Coming to the bottom of the ship, we have our rivets. And just look at this stuff. This is great. Really, they went above and beyond with this ship. Moving on, we have our connector port, copyright crap, and just more detail. This is awesome. Another rivet. And nothing's flat on here, really. You can see it just a lot of recess. The lines are very deep. Beautiful. Now for the interior here, you can see there's a couple of recesses, a bunch of modules. Similar to other Star Destroyers we've seen. There's the docking doors. Pretty sick. Tractor beams are up here. Just a beautiful ship. Really is. So now that we're done looking at the mold, let's take a look at the paint. Alright, when it comes to the paint of the Republic Attack Cruiser, I think Hot Wheels did a decent job. It's not super perfect. We do have some bleeding in the front with the red and on the bottom, but that's minor. My love for this ship is making me forget all about that. Such a great design. But anywho, the gray is the main color we have here, and that starts in the back of the vessel and all the way to the top, the sides, and the bottom. Great color choice, I'll add that. And then, actually, there is a discrepancy between the gray of the bridge and the flight control section and the main body, but you really got to be looking at it to see it. But it is there. Now, besides that, we have a nice Republic maroon color, and that's done greatly. I love this shade. It's very nice. And on the bottom as well. Now, that maroon is also mixed with yellow for the open circle fleet emblem. And that fleet emblem is used for the armada that was outside in the Outer Rim fight in the Clone Wars. So that's pretty cool. Now, moving on back, we have dark gray and blue for the engines. And I think that came out nice and clean. Very cool. So I got one more thing to cover, this nice light gray right here on the hangar doors. And that's about it. All in all, nicely painted ship, very detailed. And now that we're done looking at all that, let's put this bad boy on a stand, compare it to some other vessels, and then we'll be done. And just like most Hot Wheels ships, it comes with a cool stand. Peg it in port, hear that click, and you're good to go. Now for a little size comparison with the Republic Attack Cruiser, I have it next to the Imperial Star Destroyer, which is a great model, and the First Order Star Destroyer. On the whole, I think Hot Wheels did a fantastic job with these vessels. And that does it for my review today of the Hot Wheels Star Wars Republic Attack Cruiser. Again, this was first seen in Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, and for its length, it's 3 3/4 inches long, which is awesome. So you know I love the ship, but why do I like the model? Well, first of all, Hot Wheels has come a long way. Back when I first started reviewing them, it's no secret to anybody, I didn't really like them. I thought they were geared towards kids, which is rightfully so. They are a children's toy line. However, they've been upping their game, and this is a beautiful addition to the collection, and this is why. First of all, the detail is amazing. Everything that should be on here is, from the sides, the top, the heavy guns, the bridge, the flight control bridge, the engines, the underneath is done. And what gets me is, they made the flight stand port the bottom hangar. That is great. Beautiful engineering on their part. They could utilize the hangar without destroying or sacrificing another part of the ship to make a stand port. So, good job on you guys. Now for paint, I think they did a decent job. The gray is a nice color. Engines are done perfectly. And I love the color of the maroon they chose. Very accurate to the film. And that goes right into the open circle fleet emblem. That yellow and maroon, very nice together. Now, besides the mold and the paint, you also get that beautiful translucent stand, which has a Republic symbol on it, and it unifies it with the rest of the collection, which is important to me anyway. Now, if you're looking to buy this, sooner or later it will be out in Walmarts, Targets, and other toy stores, and I had to get mine off Amazon, but I waited. I waited it out. And then all of a sudden it popped up on Amazon for $4.99 a pop as an add-on item. So I picked up this one, and I also got the Droid AAT tank, which is also a great addition to the collection, and I'll review that next week. So my opinion, check the internet, check your local stores. These should be coming out any day now in your area. So I recommend this ship for anybody who's a fan of Revenge of the Sith, the Clone Wars, or the Republic. This is a beautiful looking ship. And that's everything I have to say about this awesome ship today. I hope you enjoyed my review. If you did, hit that like button. And if you'd like to see new reviews every Thursday, subscribe. Again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.